What's up, guys? It's manga time once again with Bleach 531, Everything But the Rain, Opening 4, Dark of the Bleeding Moon. Awesome chapter, 10 out of 10, straight away, 10 out of 10. It's just such a good chapter, and this continues to be an amazing flashback arc. Whether it's better than Turn Back the Pendulum, we'll decide maybe when it gets to the end. But so far, it's proving to be freaking great. So the chapter starts with Isshin facing off against this black hollow. And apparently it's a big deal. It's completely black. I mean, obviously that's representative of... Sorry about that. Obviously that's representative of Ichigo's Bankai being completely black. But what I don't really understand... I mean, like, I'm sure we've seen black hollows before. But maybe not. Maybe not. That glare is really bad. So yeah, Isshin, he's like... and the hollow looks freaking cool. It looks like Ichigo's monster hollow transformation that he has against Ulquiorra, but cooler. I think it looks awesome. And Isshin notices that the hollow's hole is actually closed up, which is interesting. To me, it looks like it's artificially being closed up, as it's sort of all meshed together. And he clashes blades with it, and he notices that it sort of feels like he's fighting a Shinigami. We then cut over to Aizen, which was a bit of a surprise. And he doesn't understand why Isshin is there, and Gin says it might cause them some trouble that Isshin left without a permit. But Aizen says that he wants to know if there's a way of getting up close to this and, you know, actually having a look. And this is quite funny, because when I first read the chapter, I thought he just meant, is there a way to zoom the camera in? But anyway, he goes over to Masaki, and as a lot of people suspected, she senses the Ryatsu of the fight, and she wants to leave. Ryuken stops her. Again, a lot of people thought this was going to happen, and he says that she needs to consider her position. Apparently, there's kind of like a Harry Potter-esque kind of blood thing going on in the Quincy's. That the Ect Quincy's, no idea about my pronunciation, Ect Quincy or something like that. It means pure or a true Quincy, means basically pure-blooded. They have to be kept alive, obviously, to keep the race going after they were exterminated. And then you have like the Gemsmicht or something like that. Gemish or something, and they're the half-blood, the mixed blood. And Katagiri, who is almost 100% Uryu's mum, is a Gemish, apparently. And Ryuken basically says that the pure-blooded Quincy needs to stay back, while the mixed-blooded Quincy go out and do the dirty work, basically, is what he said. But apparently the Quincy actually usually wait for the Shinigami to die before they go out and help them. So... this is interesting because Uryu made a big deal out of the Shinigami waiting for Soken to die before going and helping him. So it's a bit of a role reversal there. I don't think there's necessarily anything intended by that. It's just quite an interesting little parallel. But yeah, Masaki wants to go and help, but it cuts back to Isshin. And this 13th Division dude comes running up and he's like, "Oh, you're in our jurisdiction." And the hollow slips past him and it fires what I initially thought was a Sero, killing the guy. However, on closer reads, it almost looks like a Getsuga Tensho the hollow fires, especially when it's actually in the sky. Then it cuts back to Masaki, and she gives this big speech where she's like, "I don't care who it is I have to save. If I don't save them, I won't be able to forgive myself tomorrow." Very Ichigo. It's really good, actually, what Kuwa's been doing with these two characters. They've really been giving us Ichigo as an entire package. Like Isshin, he doesn't care what's happening. He just knows he needs to go and help out. Like he just rushed out of Soul Society without a second thought. Masaki's kind of recklessness to protect those that don't necessarily mean anything to her. Together, they do make Ichigo, and I think it's really nice. I think it's really good characterization. So yeah, she runs off, and then Ryuken says something interesting. He contacts Katagiri and says, "Prepare the Reishi armor, we're moving out." So that's going to be cool to see. I'm interested in seeing that. And again, it's going to show him and Katagiri together. We may get like a little sub-story, because I definitely, 100% she's Uryu's mum. But anyway, it goes back to Isshin, and he's like, "What was that? Was that a Sero?" Which I think, again, reinforces the idea that it wasn't a Sero, simply because it's throwing that doubt out there. They clash blades still, and he's like, this is not how a hollow fights. And then he's clearly very clever, Isshin, because he picks up on the fact that someone is shielding this hollow, because there's no way Soul Society would not know about its existence. so someone is pulling the strings. However, he decides to fight it anyway, and he finally activates his Shikai Engetsu with the release command Burn. When I first saw this, I was like, what? Is that? Because I think almost like everyone else, I was expecting it to look a bit like Ichigo's Shikai. However, I can get used to this. I do quite like it. It's kind of just like a fire sword, a bit like a weaker Yamamoto, but also the little tassels on the strings on the end of his hilt also turn into fire. That looks really cool. So it's like a double-ended sort of fire thing. What I initially thought of, the scene when he jumps up to fight the Hollow with Engetsu activated, is that it really reminds me of Hyorin Maru, but a fire version. Again, parallels between the 10th Division, that's probably something I completely just pulled out of the blue, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless. So yeah, he goes in to fight this Hollow with Engetsu activated, but he suddenly gets slashed on the shoulder. Aizen, Gin, and Tosen arrive wearing Urahara's Ryatsu cloaking devices. And that's the end of the chapter, unfortunately. 10 out of 10. Just awesome. So much going on in this chapter. Again, awesome seeing Isshin. The dude's really cool as a captain. The Hollow that he's facing looks so awesome. And again, more parallels with Ichigo. Really nice seeing Masaki and Ryuken again, getting to know more about how Quincy families work, and know more about the Ishida heritage. Kind of hoping Ryuken makes it in time to actually have a fight with this thing. It would be so cool if Aizen, Gin, and Tosen had a fight with Isshin, Masaki, and Ryuken. Not sure it's going to happen necessarily, but it'd be so cool if it did. I'm not sure how it would happen because Masaki finds Isshin on his own, so... but that would be sweet. I expect Urahara involvement, because Aizen, to me, seems like he's on a bit of a tight schedule. I mean, I know his Ryatsu is hidden at the moment, but... and I know they're not in Karakura Town. Well, actually, that doesn't make any sense, because I thought they were in Naruki City. But apparently they're in Karakura Town. Unless maybe, is Naruki in Karakura? Whatever. Basically, what I'm saying is, Urahara's somewhere, and so Shinji's gang. They're not necessarily going to turn up, but you think Aizen might be working on a bit of a tight schedule here. And at the end, obviously, Engetsu being probably one of the bigger revelations of the chapter, we finally get to see it. It does look cool. I was a little bit surprised, then I was a little bit disappointed, and now I'm sort of coming to grips with it. We didn't really get to see what it can do. He basically jumped at the Hollow and then got slashed. I think it looks really nice. It could potentially not be fire. It could be like his sword is just a flowing Getsuga, which would be really sweet. That would look cool. Or it could just be an energy sword, or it could be fire. I think fire is an interesting choice because it doesn't really seem to have anything to do with Ichigo at all. And since Isshin can fire a Getsuga, that doesn't make much sense. But 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this chapter. What did you think of the small fight? What did you think of Masaki and Ryuken's scenes? Do you like Isshin and Masaki and Ryuken as characters when they were young? Do you think Katagiri is going to be Uryu's mum at this rate? What's Aizen doing there? What does he want out of this? And finally, what do you think of Engetsu? Do you like it or do you not like it? Leave a comment below. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my videos and give me a thumbs up if you like this. And that's it for today. See you later, guys.